Let's go.
Hi, welcome to our BFI showcase.
We're going to be showing you 2 immersive films shot with 360 cameras.
Made through the BFI Film Academy in collaboration with Storyhouse in Chester in the UK and Real Solutions.
The BFI Film Academy is a national programme for young people aged 16 to 19 interested in filmmaking.
The films are Flowers in Autumn and The Game, and will also include a recorded Q&A with the actors on Zoom.
They were made in a week and shot in a day in October 2020 to COVID-19's pure film and production guidelines. Hi, I'm Ray.
I'm Will.
I'm Alex.
I'm May.
And I'm Nathan. And we're part of the production crew of Flowers in Autumn, the short film you're about to watch.
Flowers in Autumn is a story about a bar gathering that quickly takes a sinister turn, testing the bond between 3 friends.
Flowers in Autumn was created over a week and shot in one take using a 360-degree camera, turning an otherwise regular short film into an immersive virtual reality experience. You basically get to become the camera.
Watching 360 content from home is easy and accessible. All you need is your smartphone, tablet, or computer. Using one of these, simply click and drag around the video to control where you look. You can use a Google Cardboard headset if you have one.
We had so much fun creating this film, and all of us put in a lot of hard work. We're really excited for you all to see this and would love to know what you think.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the autumn celebrations.
I really don't think we should be drinking then.
You know how important this day is to me. We need to celebrate.
You guys won't believe the hike I went on yesterday. I saw the most amazing plants I've ever seen, and the hills are so beautiful. It's just like really nice to get out of the city for a while. Speaking of, you two don't go outside enough. You and me are going on a hike next weekend.
I can't, sorry. I've got homework.
Do you think school is more important than the earth?
No, of course not. Fine, I'll come.
Good.
Well, are you ready?
Of course I'm ready for it. It's the autumn celebrations. I've been ready for it the whole of my life.
That's great. I'm so proud of you for doing this. You're doing us all a great honour, especially the father.
Thanks.
I'm going to get another drink. Do you guys want anything?
No thanks.
Are you sure? I can get it watered down for you.
No thanks, Ash.
Suit yourself.
I know you're happy, but aren't you scared?
Scared? Why would I be? This is why I was born. Why would I be scared to return to Earth?
I don't know. I don't know what I'd do without you. Mum said we must stick together.
Tulip, I'm not going to be gone. The father told me himself, my body will wither and die, but the earth is self-sustaining. As long as it exists, so do I. He told me that the earth wants me. Hey, don't be sad. The autumn celebrations are a time for joy.
I couldn't agree more. I'm so glad the father chose you. to the autumn celebrations.
Hi everyone, this is a Q&A for a film Flowers in Autumn. I'm Ray, I co-wrote and co-directed it.
I'm Nathan. I also co-wrote and co-directed the film with Ray. We filmed the movie over the course of one day, and we with very little prep, that sort of thing, and edited it in one day actually as well. So we have all of our cast here. If you'd like to introduce yourselves, please, the cast.
My name's Rosie. I played Ash in Flowers in Autumn.
My name's Eva. I played Tulip in Flowers in Autumn.
My name's Patrick and I played Willow.
I'm Olivia and I was one of the cult followers.
I'm Charlie and I was also one of the cult followers.
Great. And could the rest of the crew introduce yourselves as well?
I'm Alex. I'm the producer for this showcase event and Q&A.
My name's Will and I'm the co supervisor and storyboard artist.
We also have May, Izzy, and also called Will, and they're not in this.
So, questions.
So, how did everyone find working with 360?
I was just going to say, I found it very interesting, like, even the way the camera looked, I didn't expect it all to be like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all the tech stuff, I didn't expect it like that.
And it was interesting because usually, even with theatre and with both theatre and film, once you're kind of, the camera's off you, you can just shut down and think about what you have to do next. But obviously with 360 you can be seen at all times, so there was moments where I would walk away from the other people and I wouldn't be in the scene, so I wouldn't be talking, but we'd still have to be acting and interacting with everybody else on set because they can easily just turn around and look at you, and that was really fun and interesting to do because it forced you to explore your character more, I think, and kind of take on the role more than you usually would, I think. Yeah,
you have to create like a full sort of environment, and everything in the background has to be like acted as well.
I like how we really included it in the scene as well. So if someone's holding it or it's on the table, so it feels really like in the scene and very integrated.
Of a camera, yeah. As we put the camera on like a clay statue that Nathan made.
Yeah.
And the sound was really interesting as well, because it's always interesting to see how this, obviously how things work from specifically from an actor's point of view, because I never really get to kind of delve into that. But it was interesting because obviously you can't have big booms and you can't have headsets, you can't have proper sound team because you can see it. So we had the mic in a vase of flowers, which was really interesting because the way that the crew did it was really, really clever because they had to hide everything. And so the members of the crew are actually the extras in the thing, which was also for COVID reasons and things, but it was really funny how they did it and really intelligent actually, because it meant that the crew was there all the time, but they were also part of the scene, so it wasn't awkward, it wasn't uncomfortable. There was just people sat there and they all dressed up and we all had flowers on, so it was really cool. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was what was quite funny was that May and Izzy were hiding behind the counter. Like they had to keep their heads down because the camera would have picked them up. So they're just like crouching down there with the phone, watching the footage on the monitor, because it was linked. The camera was linked to the phone. So they were just sort of there, like trying not to be noticed by the camera, which is quite difficult, especially with a 360 camera. So
I think we had two other set supervisors hiding around the corner as well, because you're in a room and there's a little corridor and they were hiding. They had to go down the corridor and hide and wait for Nathan to say cut, because otherwise they would have been seen, which is really funny.
Yeah, they literally had to had to go run down the corridor just to do another take, or even hide behind the staircase as well if you go down, so they wouldn't be seen in the takes, and it was interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if this was a question that we wrote down, but I think it's an interesting one to ask. How did you all feel about acting with masks on? Having to act with a mask on your face. Like, how does that change your performance and how does it enhance it in any ways?
It is quite obstructing because you have to obviously speak louder, more pronounced, so people can hear you. So it changes that in a way.
You had to use your eyes more as well. Like, you had to exaggerate your face with your eyes, and it was really difficult.
Yeah.
So I was using my mouth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was weird because
language.
I think in film, you're more, it's more close up usually, and it's more, because I've only really done theatre work, which is very over the top, because obviously you're further away from people and you're in person and you're small compared to them. So it's bigger, and then on film it's smaller because you're right up close and personal. But with masks on, we got there and it was exactly like theatre acting. You had to kind of go back into the big facial expressions, but then do film acting with your body. So it was like a weird mix of both, and it was challenging, but I think it was fun because it was a different thing. I think it's a shame that it happened, and I think everyone can agree it would have been better without, but I think it's a fun learning curve for everybody, and I think it was interesting to do it, and whatever we have to do to make a film, right? Like,
exactly. I mean, if we tried to do it with the 2 meter distancing, we wouldn't have been able to even get it done properly because of how far apart everybody would be. It wouldn't feel real. So I think that the masks had to be something we had to do, really. The 1 meter thing,
like a necessary evil.
I was going to say, acting with a face mask, you've got to increase your sort of non-verbal communications as well, like your hand gestures and sort of from here upwards facial reactions, and it's quite difficult. It is like a piece of theatre, especially in one take as well.
Yeah.
You're really lucky that most of you have a background in theatre, because otherwise that would have been really difficult.
I mean, Charlie's at the point where we didn't talk about that we did it all in one take. We didn't cut. Every single take we did was one. We didn't ever do stop in the middle. If we messed up, we kept going, which again is very theatre-y, that kind of aspect where if one of us messed up, I think Eva kept forgetting a line and I kept messing up one. Me, Patrick, and Eva all messed up, but we kept going before takes. We have he was like, if I forget this again, you just go, Rosie, just go. And then me and Patrick were like, right, got it, on it, which was really funny.
Online. Oh well.
You got it in the end. It's all right.
I did feel for the main three of you know, they had to do so much expressions with a mask on. But I think for like, I don't know how Charlie felt, but when we had the masks on and we were in the background, I thought it kind of worked with how sinister we were kind of being a little bit. You didn't have to say much, but you just had to just. I always thought like, as long as you're in possessive, with how you're feeling with the eyes in particular, like being obeyed and everything like that. I had to keep thinking like, just use your eyes through the scene and try and tell them that you're possessed and everything like that. But I don't think I don't know how they felt of the pressure of these three of trying to convince people what they were feeling and things with masks. So yeah,
I agree. I mean, it was, yeah, you did feel a bit more sinister wearing a face mask because it's just more of a, you can't really see who you are, which is sort of more sort of scary because like, you don't exactly know what they're thinking because you can't see their face really. So that's quite interesting.
The human face is such an important thing, really, like for understanding who people are. You can tell so much just from a person's face, and like taking that away, but dehumanization. I like what you're saying there. You know, like it's almost like they are sort of part of this sort of thing, and they're sort of like dehumanized in some sort of way.
I think as well, subtext is like really, really defined by facial expressions, and I mean obviously you have tone and things, but subtext is primarily built on facial expression with tone. And my character specifically, Ash, is very, very subtext built, very, very much so. She's so happy and joyful and lovely and loving, but when you actually kind of take a look at her character, you see that it's all a facade, it's all an act. And I think that was so difficult to do with the mask on, and we went through multiple script runs and multiple tests and everything, and Nathan and Ray kept on like, okay, just try it like this, because it was so difficult to pinpoint exactly the kind of emotion you wanted when you had half of your face covered, because usually you can do little smiles and whatever to try and be like, oh yeah, no, she's nice, but she definitely wants to like hurt people. So it was interesting. It was hard and challenging, but it was fun in a way.
What did everyone think of their characters? I wrote it and Nathan wrote it, but like the characters really belong to you. So how did you feel about your characters personally?
Thought my character was a little bit weird. Like, you know what I mean? She felt like a very controlling, like she's like a loving like sibling, but also she's quite controlling. She's like, oh no, I don't want you to do that. You know what I mean? So it's like a big sister.
I mean, I guess he was pretty bad danger, so I think we can forgive him for that.
But I don't know. She had I feel like she had a secretly weird side. You know what I mean? I'm probably reading far too into it.
Well, yeah, she's really worried about her brother, and
I really liked her.
I guess
I really like the names of all the characters, how they were like connected to the earth, and like really kind of natural. And I thought I liked how Willow, it kind of has a conflict in his mind, and like the peer pressure and his eventual fate, which is death. And I really like how he kind of goes on kind of a journey in just that short space of time.
Yeah. I think they were really nice characters. I said this in the audition, originally, so we all got to audition for a couple of different parts, and I originally auditioned for, I think it was Tulip, and they were like, do you want to audition for anything else? I was like, you know what, I'll give it a go. I'll give the angry, crazy cool leader a go, because I usually go for, just because my natural disposition and the way I am as a person, I usually go for the easygoing or nervous or like happy-go-lucky characters, because it's just natural and easier to play. But I went for it because I thought it'd be nice and it'd be a different thing. And I was like, you know what? These people don't know me. Let's go for it. And it was so fun to do something completely different from that, because she's absolutely flipping insane. Like she's crazy. She's just, at the end, she goes bonkers. And I think it was fun to have that kind of difference to what I would usually play, which was cool, and exploring that with everyone else and exploring the differences between characters, because it's kind of Tulip and Asher, just polar opposites.
You definitely scared me on that day, though. You can tell.
Like when we were shouting at each other, I loved how the characters just like hated each other. They were just so angry, you know what I mean? I love that bit.
Yeah, I like the fact that you sort of had the freak out in the scene, because I was talking to you beforehand, and then when you did it in the scene, I was like, I did not realise she had that in it. And then talking after, I was like, I didn't realise you
I know,
had
you
that in
can't.
you.
I'm tiny. I'm like, everyone can vouch. I'm like a small human being. I'm like 5'3" of absolute, just like, hi guys, hi, it's nice to meet you. And then I went on, and everyone was like, I heard myself on the recording halfway through the day, and I was like, oh my flipping heck. I'm quite scared to watch it, actually. I don't want to see myself like that.
And yeah, like when you came into the audition, like when you started reading that out, we were like basically certain that we wanted you to play the cult person. So yeah, like you did a good job, and like everyone did a really good job.
Yeah, everyone did such an amazing job.
How would you say the auditioning process was like when you did it originally? How did that go for you guys?
I think it was good. It was a bit like a bit scary, you know what I mean? Because we were on Zoom, you didn't know, and trying to hold the conversation online was hard as well.
Yeah,
but it was all dead chill, and it was a lot less scary than I imagined it to be.
Oh yeah,
we did half of it in the stairwell. So
that was so fun.
I was quite nervous as well, because I was a bit out of practice. I haven't auditioned on Zoom. No, and also I was nervous about auditioning for horror, because I'm not so well known with horror, and I didn't have an idea what they were looking for, because I hardly watch horror films. So it was just trying to give a bit of an idea what they wanted, or what you guys wanted, really. So
it was really relaxed, though. I think we all went in with these like ideas that it was going to be terrifying, and then we went in, and the two supervisors were like, "It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's fine." And then we went in, and it was literally it was so nice, and we all get on really well, actually, because you never know. And then we got there on the day, and it was just like we'd all met before, and it was just so nice and easy. I think, yeah.
What was the schedule, and like was the day tiring, and did you find it challenging to do it in one shot? How did you feel about all that?
I personally loved it. I actually loved it. It was just, I always liked those kind of scenes, and I just wanted to have a feel what it's like to film a continuous shot without any breaks or anything like that. It was a real joy and a good learning experience as well.
You'll get that a lot with Nathan.
Yes, I do love my long takes. I do a lot of those. Yeah, I have one more question before we might have to go off, and that's about like the setting itself. What did you all think of being in the place itself while filming? And did you feel like you were part of the world itself, or did you how do you feel like the production design affected your performances?
I really liked it. I liked how it was quite casual, and I loved the flower themes and everything that you did. A
lot of flowers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, lots of flowers. I personally loved the atmosphere. It was quite tense, normal environment.
Yes.
Just like something a bit. It was normal, but there was something twisty about the atmosphere. I could tell, and it really helped as well, I think. So
I really liked the attention to detail, and like all the signs on the wall of like the satanic signs and all that, which really added to that. The scene at the end with the cult, it really added to quite a scary mood to it.
And I think explaining the backstory to us was really, really helpful. It's kind of like how you explained to us that the actual cult leader owned the building. So it was, and that kind of, we started discussing it, and we're like, oh, so there could be other ones, there could be this, and it was really cool because not only the cast and the crew were completely immersed in it, but it was very real because you could see out the windows, and knowing that the backstory could actually happen in real life, it just put you in there, and it was just like, wow. And I think with everyone with the headdresses on and dressing really colourful, and we had drinks as well, so going up to the bar and talking to like, because Nathan was doing the bar, and another I think is he a producer, Will? They were at the bar and just talking to them like, yeah, can I have another one? Yeah, thanks. That was really cool because it just kind of put you in there.
Oh, and the drinks, they were apple juice with bicarbonate of soda in.
I can't have apple juice again. It makes me feel violently ill. I was like,
Yeah.
so awful.
I mean, it's nice.
Wow.
A little bit is nice, but so much of it, one after the other, it just becomes so sickly.
I must have had like me, Eva, and Patrick must have had at least like 5 glasses.
I think I finished 2 at the end. Like
I must have had so many.
I mean, you had to go up and down and get tons.
You kept filling it up. And I was like, please. I was saying with my eyes, I was like, no. You're like, yeah. And I was like, please don't, please.
Get what you paid for.
What was your first impressions of the script and the story, and just when you were offered the film? And
I thought it was really good and exciting and something a bit different, you know what I mean?
yeah, it is weird.
I really liked it, and the script was like I loved it.
Nice. Okay.
I wasn't expecting people to like the script so much, like genuinely.
No,
yeah, I mean, like, even though I gave some ideas and stuff of things that I could say, I think that Ray actually did like most of the work, and what they wrote was, and I think was great, really good. Like, and I loved a lot of them, the stuff that Ray added to it. So yeah,
I appreciate also the fact that you're so lenient with it. I mean, we love the script and we didn't change it, but I want to highlight that you guys were so like, they were amazing as a crew. We came in and they talked to us as like, they were just really nice to us, and they said, okay, if you want to change anything, let us know and we'll see if we can do it. I mean, we didn't because we loved it, but it was cool to have that kind of creative.
You guys just knew what you had in your heads, and I loved the guitar, the guitar singing. You were so calm, and you knew what you were doing. You were so professional, and you were very fun to work with. I was really happy.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. Like, yeah, it was really, really great working with you.
Great,
it's
been a pleasure.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. Well, bye. Thank you very much.
Bye.
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 Hi, welcome to our film screening.
Our film was shot in 360 degrees to put you in the shoes of the detective. This means that you can turn on the spot with a mobile, use the mouse to drag on a computer, or turn around using a VR headset to view the suspects all around you.
We created the film in just a week at Story House in Chester as a part of the BFI Film Academy.
The game is a murder mystery where you, as the spectator, play the role of a detective interrogating 4 suspects. Each one of them is from a different time period, set 2 decades apart, and the suspects conspire against one another in an attempt to shift the blame.
After the screening, there'll be a pre-recorded Q&A with interviews from the cast and crew.
Before the film starts, make sure the video quality is on the highest setting. In the description will be a link to a short survey, and we'd love if you could fill this out. Hope you enjoy.
So you better back off before I completely lose it.
Is that a threat?
Oh, I'm not making threats. I'm gonna be with a murderer. That's a threat against my life, and it's so sucky.
You see, the thing is, any one of us could have killed that guy, including you, little Miss Pretty Pants. So you can drop the act now.
Any one of us? I never met the guy. Ergo, I don't have a motive. I don't go around killing people without reason. Or at all. Don't know about you guys, but it's not how I get my kicks.
Do not worry. For the time being, I don't suspect you. My sights are set firmly on you. My suspicions were aroused 3 nights ago when I saw you in a rather shady alleyway. making unscrupulous dealings. Just last night, I saw Mr. Ernest. He was unwell. Now he is dead, and you are here. I suspect you use ricin, a slow-acting poison that can kill any man without a trace, even in minute doses. Your hedonistic pleasure had not gone unnoticed by the man. I suspect you wanted that nuisance out of the way.
Wow, you really are stuffy, huh? Look, I wasn't getting ricin or whatever the hell you think I was getting. I was buying acid. I was getting high, man. Look, I've got some of it.
No thanks. Waste oil. You were buying acid? Is that a confession? What were you planning to do? Melt the body? That's horrifying.
Jesus Christ, did he look melted to you?
Acid is a drug? LSD. Ring any bells?
What?
Shut up, Donna. She clearly doesn't understand. And also, fix your cuffs. Total fashion disaster.
I'll cuff you in a minute.
Wow, cool sister. I don't think violence is a very good look right now, do you? And plus, Annie, when you see the body, you can see it is covered head to toe in cuts, meaning there was a struggle, and poison doesn't make cuts. No. Actually, do you know what I'm starting to think? It was you. And you 80s chick love your pop, right? Because as I was walking in, I saw a disregarded bottle of Smashed. You guessed it. Coke. And the cuts here are jagged. Please see where I'm going with this. It's so totally here. You were here last night, weren't you, Donna?
No way, Jose. Last night, time of the killing, I was with Lennon. We hung for like 2 hours. Then we split, but swear down, that's all I got up to. Okay, and if you're going to start pointing fingers, well, I've mind to expect your involvement in this. I mean, let's face it, Elle, you're the only one in the room who's out of whack and warped enough to want to try and kill someone. Oh, and, need I remind you, I don't have a motive.
Regretfully, I lack the naivety to believe such hogwash. Your story is complete fabrication, a stone-faced attempt to pass the buck to Elle. You think she iced Anthony? I think she can ice my cola.
A complete fabrication? Is that what's happening? Look, I was with Donna, okay? I can vouch for her. She's cool, man.
You couldn't see cool if it slipped itself in your drink. A, her jeans suck ass. B, she's a total bitch. And C, she's trying to pin this all on me. Me! Like, can you even imagine?
Yo, lay off the jeans. Take a chill pill, dude. Okay, ever since you got here, you've been busting your ass trying to implicate me. And frankly, it's more than a little tiring. Just look around. Signs of struggle everywhere. Cuts in the furniture. Don't suppose you know anything about that, do you? In fact, I think you stabbed Tony to death. Maybe with the cola bottle that you found, or like the cuts in the furniture suggest, a knife? Clearly, he wasn't up for it. He put up quite the fight. But maybe you only abandoned the idea once his body had already given in from all that beating. So not rad.
That wasn't me. Like, I would not do that. That's so totally not me. I mean, tell me, what's my motive?
Sorry, were motives important when you were accusing me? Plus, you just kind of hate everyone. That's motive enough.
Yeah, man. You laid into this bitch. That's badass.
Okay, don't think we're cool or anything. Just because we were together before the killing doesn't make you a saint. I don't know if that's really acid.
Well, I thought we were meant to be friends, man. And how can you not see? It's obviously Annie. I mean, we've all seen her case against me. It's so goddamn rogue that she may as well have been rehearsing it for years. I mean, it's almost as if she wants to shift the blame. Look how she's been. Always instigating the fights, pitting us against each other, shifting that blame a little bit off herself. And look how quiet she is. She could have had a knife or a bottle. Annie, didn't you say something about icing your cola?
Whatever, Lenny boy. If you're so blind to realise that your little friend Donna isn't a stone cold killer, then clearly I can't convince you. And I can't imagine not being able to convince someone as weak-minded as you of something so plain for the rest of us to see with our heads screwed on. Think of the cake.
Head screwed on? You... You're joking.
No. The only joke I've heard all day is your little knife theory.
Oh, you dumb motherfucker.
This is why suspects are not tasked with solving crimes. We all have self-interest here. That is an immutable fact. Another immutable fact is that we have a trustworthy figure here. Detective, can you agree with me that it might be Lennon? If not murder, then drug consumption and potentially dealing.
Yes, let's give it to the only other sensible person in the screamer plate ducks. Officer, you'll agree with me, right? It's Donna, isn't it?
Hey, Gumshoe, can we just forget for a second about the drug stuff? Okay, it's not relevant to the murder case. What is relevant, however, is Annie's guilt, man. Please tell me you see what I see. And this whole drug spiel is just to make me look bad.
Look, Tubbs, I ain't a killer. Len, he ain't either. Hell, Annie ain't. And she's weird, but she's not quite a killer. Elle, though, she's got it in her. I know you know.
Who's the liar?
Is it even one of us?
Who can you trust?
Who killed Anthony Ernest?
Can you solve the game?
Hi, welcome to the Q&A of the game. I'm Neve and I was the director on the film.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I was the producer, editor, and COVID supervisor.
I'm Katie and I was the lead writer on the film.
I'm Abby. I was the co-writer.
I'm Anna and I was the camera and sound operator.
I'm Annabelle and I play Annie.
I'm Harry and I play Lennon.
I'm Rogera and I play Donna, and I was also the props and location supervisor.
I'm Jade and I played Elle.
So the main question of the whole film, who do you think killed Anthony? So obviously going in, we want it to be completely open to interpretation, so there's no set right or wrong answer. But personally, on the shoot day, I really thought Donna was the murderer because she was so feisty and she's quite conspicuous, and yeah, I thought it was Donna.
I wasn't entirely sure, but I think it might have been Elle, because her character was accusing all the others, and the only one she wasn't really turning against was Annie. But I feel like her character had it in her to do the murder. So yeah.
So personally, when I was writing it, I tried to avoid kind of giving concrete evidence towards anyone being the killer. It was all kind of very speculative, so you could really take it in any direction you want and could kind of write it so that anyone could be the killer. But personally, in my mind, when I was writing it, I did kind of have a bias against Elle. I kind of wrote her to be a tiny bit more vicious than others, and I don't feel like I gave enough spotlight to Lennon's potential culpability. But thinking about it, I'm going to give the easiest answer and say that I think they probably all intended to kill him, and who knows which one actually did it.
I think it was Annie. I'm going to be straightforward because she was really quiet. I think she's got it in her, and she was just generally really suspicious. She definitely could have done it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Abby. I think it was Annie. She was just like way too quiet and was happy not being questioned. So I was like, I think she's the killer. So
I think it was Annie as well. I think she just like avoided all the conversations where it could have possibly been her. She's just so suspicious the whole time.
Originally, I thought it was Elle, but I actually liked the thought of it being Annie, because she's really quiet. She's quite vicious when she wants to be, and I think it's kind of funny that the person that suspects her is a hippie who does a lot of drugs, and I like that thought that she's like, oh, I could have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that hippie who found me out.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably Annie. I feel like, she covers herself by being super nice and proper, but I reckon she's got it in her.
I think it was Donnie because she tried to blame me, which is just, I'm not a killer, so definitely not me.
Okay, so does anyone have any previous experience filming in 360?
I have, because this time last year I did this, but differently because it was last year.
Okay, so speaking about differences, what was the process like filming during a pandemic?
Well, being the COVID supervisor, I had to prepare an extra risk assessment for everyone and make sure everyone was aware of trying to sanitize their hands and sanitize the equipment after use, like the camera or any props or chairs that people had to move around. So it's different to what it would have been, because we also had to be socially distant the whole time, which we kind of worked into the script and how the actors were positioned on camera and on set. But yeah, we got through it, and once everyone got the hang of it, it was easy to just stay in the motion of it.
Yeah, it was definitely different from how you normally shoot films, obviously, because of the circumstances. And for me, I had to be like solely responsible for like the camera and the sound and making sure like those were working. But like aside from certain like things of having to stay socially distanced, it was really enjoyable, and it was great fun making the film, and it was a great day. So
okay, so a question for all the actors. What do you have in common with your character, or what's different from you and your character?
I think me and my character are extremely different. I think the only thing we kind of have in common is the like confidence at times, but then also being quiet at other times. But other than that, like the way she talks and the things she says to other people were just so different.
I think me and Lennon dress quite similar. You know, I love the 60s sort of hippie culture. I think it's so much fun and fascinating from, you know, a historical point. But I think the way we differ is I don't like sandals as much as he does. But that's about it, really.
I'd say on the face of it, we're quite different. I mean, I'm not from the 80s, so the kind of, you know, the way she talks and the sort of stuff she says and the way Donna lives her life is very different from like a culture point of view. But I think we're similar in the way that we both kind of defend ourselves and confident, and yeah.
I feel like we're pretty similar in our confidence and also loving the glitz and glamour, and like sparkly things like that. But we're different as I'm not a killer, and I don't carry a knife around with me. So.
Okay. So what was the audition process like?
I was so worried about the audition, and then when I joined, everyone was just so nice, and I was so surprised, and it was just such a nice like vibe of everyone. Everyone was just talking, and it was so nice.
The auditions was kind of a bit different for me because I was part of the crew and the cast, so I was helping read in lines for other people's auditions, and then I have my own as well. But most of the auditions were done over Zoom, which was weird in itself, but then I did mine in person because I was there anyway. So yeah, it was a bit different, but it worked really well.
Okay, and what were some challenges when filming in 360?
We had the issue of trying to make sure that the crew were hidden during our takes, because it's a black room and we had to hide behind like the smallest wall ever, trying to like keep social distancing and all trying to look at the camera. So it's all quite stressful trying to fit in. We also ended up having to do a lot of takes. It was quite hard. There was a lot of long, lengthy lines for some of the characters that must have been hard to remember because the script was sent to them like a day beforehand. So they did a really good job at remembering their lines and just coping with the whole thing.
So some of the difficulties I found was having to stay in character. Usually when you're filming something, you don't have to stay in character when it's like some other character's monologue, but you were always in view. So you had to be conscious of not only what the other person are doing, but reacting to everyone around you. You had to remember the lines and all the minute movements. It was a lot of fun, but it was also a lot of stress.
Okay, so question for Katie, what was the most interesting part of script writing?
For me, the most interesting part of script writing was there was a very, very fast turnover. The whole thing was written in about 2 days at most, and from conception to finalization, it was probably about a week. And so for me, as someone who usually takes a very long time to write scripts and like methodically thinks out every detail, it was kind of like going with the flow of the dialogue and kind of finding this natural rhythm to writing that was enabling me to finish it that fast. It was really interesting, and in such a short time I got to know the characters so personally that by the time I was done I was like, what year is it?
Yeah, obviously I came up with the concept and it was really interesting to try and think of an idea that would work in 360 but also that we could socially distance. So that's why we took like a more theatrical approach to the story. So final quick question for everyone, what was your favorite part of the shoot day? For me, it was seeing everyone in costume and see these characters that we've developed really come to life.
For me, it was just sort of getting to know everyone. Like, it was such a nice environment to work in. It was a very long day, so we were kind of worn out by the end of it, but I feel like we all got through it and we all supported each other and everyone was really nice. So yeah.
I think we all just had such a laugh doing it. Like, I think everyone got to know each other quite well, and as well as it being quite hard work, it was just so much fun to do it all and see it all come together.
I really enjoyed kind of, because it was such a quick turnaround, on our shoot day, it was so interesting to see it all come to life so quickly, because it's like we just kind of thought about it and now all of a sudden it was happening. And yeah, it was really enjoyable. Everyone was just great and it was a really nice environment.
My favourite part was when you finally finish a scene, because it took so many takes and we were all just so excited when we finally get it right.
Yeah.
I loved finally being able to do something creative during lockdown. It was so much fun being able to just go and do it straight away. I loved it when we messed up a line. It was so funny. And yeah, just the camaraderie we had when we finally got through a scene, and like we just wanted to go, yeah, we finally done it, and then we were straight on to the next monologue, and then it was right back to it again.
I just think it was a really lovely space to work, and it felt really like comfortable to like do the lines. And if you did mess up, it was like, okay, it's fine, just do it again. And obviously, it was quite nice to just do something different and see how it would all work, like the 360 camera and stuff, which was really cool.
Great. Thank you for watching our Q&A.